Today we're talking pros and cons of Airbnbs versus hotels. I've lived in Airbnbs for over 2 years, almost 3 years, traveling the USA. I've been in over 50 of them in that time, so I have extensive experience at some high-end, mid-tier, and low-tier Airbnbs. So, the biggest con is actually what's happening now. I'm currently at a Chick-fil-A, and this Airbnb had a lot of great ratings and reviews, but turns out the host is really old and he chose not to put the door code on his Airbnb listing once you purchase. Instead, he decided he's going to tell you in person. Perhaps this is a safety measure. Usually, they tell you on the listing once you purchase. The issue with this is this guy's 75. He sent me the freaking Wi-Fi password, which is already available in the listing. And what ends up happening is I didn't realize that until I locked the door. And since it's already nighttime, he's already asleep. So for about 20 minutes, 30, I was scared of potentially having to sleep in my car because I couldn't get in because he didn't send me the door code. And so, I messaged him a directly worded text message saying, you need to get this sorted because it's a simple difference and you don't want your guests locked out. So, luckily, I was able to message, and he had a wife who was, on vacation, but was able to kind of coordinate and give me the right code, supposedly. Well, I went out to eat because I didn't want to just wait and sit in my car. He wasn't responding to anything. So that's really one of the big cons. There are small things like that with the check-in process and, things that you might expect to be seamless at a hotel, just like the ability to kind of check in and then get in, that you can't with an Airbnb. The check-in and check-out times are oftentimes varied as well. So with hotels, those are pretty clear, but some Airbnbs require a earlier or later check-in or check-out time. It's usually something like 10 a.m. you have to check out, and then check-ins at 5 or 6 p.m. And then because it's some other people's homes, if I'm lucky, I get an automated system, and I love those. Door code, everything's smooth, seamless, hands-free. But when you're especially in more country areas that are very scenic, then especially if the hosts haven't figured it out, it's all oh, meet me at the door, here's the door key. And then, you run into these instances where the host oversleeps and then you're waiting at the door for an hour. I had that happen. Check out my video about it in New Mexico. Now, what are the pros? The pros is you don't get the boring, almost artificial feel of the hotel each time, the bed, everything like that. Plus, you get all these amenities and furnishings that a hotel doesn't. I have a work desk in my room, a closet. Sometimes there's ironing boards. And you might be like, oh, well, hotels have that. Not all hotels have a really good work desk and a couch and a fully stocked kitchen and a living room, and sometimes a pool that comes with it. I had a bidet in my bathroom recently, and it's just fully furnished, and usually there's a lot of personality. Sometimes it's more neutral, but if it's someone's actual house rather than just an Airbnb hustle, you have it fully furnished out. So it has the personality of the person and the place there. And so I've been able to stay at some really cool ones that are so energetic, and it's exciting to be there. Speaking of, the ones I went to in New Mexico, especially in Las Cruces, they had so much personality to them. Because I guess, the way the climate is there, the houses have this really strange structure to them, and then inside there's all this cactus design and all these weird furniture. It's kind of hard to describe. So that's just a lot more energizing to me than, your repetitive hotel room place. So I really like it when it's really smooth. And, this is just a really rare occurrence where I got locked out temporarily. So now I'm on my way home to confirm that the door code works. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of air out my thoughts. So be careful. And I think the cons are usually worth it because, you usually just get annoyed sometimes for an hour or so, and then they respond back to you. Most of them are pretty like on it, like they'll respond within an hour or two. It's not as good as a hotel where there's always 24/7 front desk, but I still like Airbnbs more than hotels.